So apparently there's only 15,000 pairs of these. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. My name is Danny. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing one of the two colorways for the newest Patta Air Max 90s. So in front of us today, we do have that Sapphire colorway. Now it's crazy to think that, rumor has it, there's an incredibly limited amount of these that might exist or do exist globally, to the point where a lot of boutiques didn't even have stock for these. Kith, for one, I didn't see them here in Miami. And this is actually the first Patta release I wasn't able to purchase from Nike/Patta directly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna unbox these and let's just get straight into it. All right, on the table we do have this Sapphire colorway for these 90s, and in person they're so much better than what I saw in photos. So here we have another addition to Patta's Waves collection, which is something we saw in Air Maxes in the prior years. I love those. I have almost every colorway of those. And when these 90s originally leaked, I knew I had to at least get one pair. But trying to get these was harder than I initially anticipated. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the box a little bit of attention here. Here we have Patta Got Love for All, Nike, Familiar right there, Patta's logo, or it's Get Familiar right there. Patta on the side. It's essentially a silver version of what they were dropping for the Air Max 1s. So same design language, everything. These are just black. These specifically are that black and white pair that was, I think, exclusive to Patta. Now we are seeing another Patta exclusive colorway for the 90s. Unfortunately, I'm unable to get those. If you live out there and you can get a size 10.5 US, let me know, even though terrorists are probably gonna make it super hard to get. So the 90s in question, I think they're great. This is an homage to an earlier OG colorway. Same for those Cyber pair. It's more of a Volt green/yellow. I initially wanted to go for those. Could not get them on sneakers. Could not get these on sneakers. I had to get these through a local seller. Luckily, I was able to trade for them, so I didn't have to pay out of pocket. I don't think these are going for much. All right, so the special thing about the Patta Air Max 1s, besides the homage to a classic OG colorway, is the waves right there. Now, I have been seeing a lot of people complaining that they either hate the waves or they wish the waves would have continued throughout, the entire shoe. But I'm not gonna lie, I like where they're at. I can kind of see what they mean. Like on the interior right here, you see how the waves continue, but then they kind of fizzle out right here. I wish this was a little more wave pattern, but yeah, because if you look at the inside, those wave patterns, they go good with the swoosh, they go good with this little Air Max window right here. I feel like they would have been fine right there, and it would have gave the shoe a little bit more of an oomph. If you look at the Air Maxes, they definitely committed to the bit. So you have waves that go through the entire sneaker, realistically. Like, there's a little break right there, which I guess this could be the break for this one. So me and my wife are on a little disagreement here. She sees more of a purple. I see more of like a weirdly colored blue. I could say it's like a good combination of both. It's neither too purple, neither too blue. It has this like nice give to it. The only difference between this pair and the other pair is just those color accents. So this one having that cyber and the other one having that neon. I actually think the neon accents work a little bit better on the other colorway. That was my top choice between one or the other. I am still gonna be looking for that pair, but I guess it's easier on me now that I'm gonna have to trade for it. Here we take a look at the bottom of the shoe. That color is just super nice, but I do think it doesn't work as well with the gray. Throughout the shoe, we do have this gray mesh right here. To my surprise, we don't really have any suede on the sneaker. I think there's a little bit on the tongue right here. So if you look right here on the Patta, we have a little bit of suede right here. Or if anything, it's more of a nubuck. It could be a little synthetic, which for $155, I think that's completely reasonable. Now, if these were a $200 pair of shoes, like most 95s, then it's kind of like, rough. You do have like a synthetic feeling nubuck where initially I thought it was almost leather. It doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't bother me that much either. I do think this black right here, which is more of like a synthetic material because it has kind of ridges to it. I do think that one's gonna, you can kind of see it right here. It's gonna get dirty over time. It's gonna be a little hard to clean, but it is what it is. That's actually similar to the issue with these. This has like a reflective coating to it and it just peels terribly. but I still love this sneaker. I love all the Patta Air Max 1s that I have, so these are definitely gonna get love this year. And Patta is sticking consistent with that shading right there for the sole. Same shading as the laces. I don't think these, actually they did. So they did come with an extra lace right here. Matches closer to this right here. It really does remind me of the blue Air Max ones that they did. Let me get those out. Okay, so these are the aqua noises. They also came with that, I think this was the original lace that they came with. This is one I threw on. It matched better with, I guess, what all the other ones were doing. Pretty sick. I really do love this series or set of sneakers, and there are 2 more 90s that are coming. One being that Patta exclusive that I'm gonna struggle to actually get my hands on, and then a white version that will be available here in the States, but if sneakers is my only choice, I'm probably cooked. Because I honestly thought not a lot of people would go for these. Resale wise, it's pretty down. I think that's like 20, 30 over what they initially cost, not counting shipping and taxes. So if you got them from a boutique, if you got them online on a boutique, there's no profit fee there if you're one of those. But it does make me think Air Max collectors that really wanted these got them, and that's why you're not seeing a lot of pairs like listed for sale. But there's always going to be like a bit of both in every release, and I do think these being so limited, you could definitely tell the demand's not there, but people that wanted them are definitely just going to hold on to them. All right, so last thing I can do right here besides throwing them on feet is just showing you those wave patterns. See how much they differ. On the inside, they're just, it's so close. Like I don't mind the waves. I actually like this incentive from Patta. Even if the messaging is supposed to be like fluid, like liquid, moving with the waves, I think visually on these Air Maxes, it's just a nice touch. And even on these 90s, not a whole lot of it changes. Like the shoe is still arguably, visibly still an Air Max 90. But I just think it adds such a nice little touch, especially since everything is just executed pretty nice. And the last thing I could really show you is just how different those 90s are. So here we have a pair of Bacons, the DMQ re-releases that a lot of people just did not end up liking, versus like what 90s that Patta did. They look honestly slimmer here. It's kind of crazy seeing it. I don't know if it's just like visually or maybe because I have this laced a little lower. These do look like a smidge bulkier than these. They're the same size, so 10.5, 10.5. Yo, that's actually kind of crazy. So if you look even here, maybe it's just because of the way it's laced, but I do feel like these right here are a little bit slimmer. Huh. But these also have like a leather interior. They're built just a little bit differently. It's all leather versus like a mesh. So again, if you're a fan of either 90, I do think these are worth it. I really like that neon pair. If you have a pair, hit me up on Trade Block. Take a look at what I have. As long as it's relatively, you know, an even trade. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on feet. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out the channel. I'm trying to be a little more consistent, but yo, these releases just haven't been doing a lot for me. This, on the other hand, I'm glad I got a pair of these. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's take a look at what they look like on feet.